I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe you're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through. I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe you're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go. The only thing that I know, you were my gravity, but now I had to leave. I will let you go. Why do you think that I want? Why do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity. 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 I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not.
Warning: the Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we get set to kick off our race weekend from the Nashville Super Speedway. And we begin with pole day qualifying for the drivers here in Season 2 of the SRA Duracell Ultra Lite Series. These drivers gearing up for their second playoff race of the season. Last week was their first playoff race at Road America. And we had one of our playoff contenders go to victory lane. We already know one driver that is going to be battling in the second round of the postseason, but we still have to determine another 6 drivers that are going to be joining them. We'll see if starting tracks is going to be important here today, how much emphasis is put on qualifying, as 10 minutes for these 31 drivers that will be participating in the Light Series race here tomorrow afternoon. We'll be talking about all 10 of the drivers, including the one that locked themselves into the next round, what the scenarios are, because while this is the middle race of this first round for the Light Series drivers, setting us up for the elimination race next week at Dover, tomorrow afternoon is pole day qualifying, as Sunday is the race for the Cup Series side, where it is their first elimination race of the season. We'll whittle the playoff field down from the original 16 down to 12. But our main focus here is on the Light Series drivers, and last week it was Road America that kind of set the stage in determining who our playoff contenders would be moving on into the second round. As trying to focus on that Garage 55 Mazda I saw out there. There they are. That's Sean Gallagher going to be the first one out onto the racetrack to log some laps here. But Colin Grace picking up his second win on the season, and more importantly, getting that first win during the playoffs. He is moving on to the round of 7. Regardless of what happens here this weekend at Nashville, regardless of next week, another concrete racetrack at Dover, Colin Grace will be moving on to the next round of the playoffs. 6 more spots still remain as to who is going to be moving on and who is not, so that cut line going to be right down there around 7th in the points, as Colin Grace coming into this one currently at the top of the point standing, so it makes things a little bit easier of figuring out who is where, at least as of right now. Lap times are cycling in. You'll start to see them there on the top of your screen with about 8 minutes remaining. Let's find our playoff contenders here before we focus on the fastest in Nashville in regards to who is where and who needs to do what based off of how they did last week at Road America. We'll kick things off with the 70 of Cody Majoric out of Joanna Atwood Motorsports. Cody coming into this race 6th in the overall points. He is 14 points ahead of that 7th in the standings cut line, so pretty decent gap between himself and that elimination spot. He'll look to build off that here this weekend. His teammate just up ahead, that being Jordan Anderson. Now Anderson, on the flip side, he is below the cut line. As a matter of fact, of the 10 playoff contenders, he is 10th. He is the last of them right now. The good news for him is he is only 2 points below the 7th in the standings cut line. It's actually really, really close from 7th to 10th, as about a quartet of drivers really struggled last week at the road course. Aubrey Powell is 5th in the point standings. Saw her teammate, Colin Grace, out of Haas Racing, go to victory lane last week. Would love to do that this week to lock herself into the next round. A total of 17 points ahead of the 7th in the standings cut line coming into this weekend. Kyle Langland, another driver that is below the cut line coming into this race, 9th in overall standings. 2 points below the cut line, however, still very close to being able to move up above that cut line area that we will be continually referring to during the course of this weekend. Roberto Crown Jr. coming to pit road. Roberto is 4th in points coming into this one. He is 14 points out of the overall points lead and 20 points above the 7th in the standings cut line. I saw his teammate just up ahead there, Juan Garcia. Juan is 3rd in points, 13 points out of the points lead, and 21 points ahead of the cut line. Skylar Taylor is 8th in the standings, only 1 point back from 7th in overall standings. And there is Colin Grace, who we know is moving on to the next round of the playoffs. Could kind of build off of that, go to victory lane for a second time here. Or I should say for a second time at the playoffs. It'd be for a 3rd time this season for Colin Grace. But the only driver that comes into this weekend completely stress-free. There is the driver that I think we'll be looking a lot at tomorrow afternoon, Eli Bright. Why? Well, he's the cut line driver. He's 7th in points. He is 14 points below his nearest competitor, which is Cody Majoric. He is only 1 point ahead of Skylar Taylor. He is only 2 points ahead of Kyle Langland and Jordan Anderson, the other 3 drivers below him, 8th, 9th, and 10th. So it is going to be a dogfight here tomorrow afternoon for that 7th in the standings positioning. Obviously, a victory would make the task of those 4 drivers a lot easier, and mathematically they could get up there and bypass drivers like Cody Majoric, Aubrey Powell, Roberto Crown Jr. if they were able to get a top 5 run. But I think tomorrow, for those 4 drivers, particularly Eli Bright, Skylar Taylor, Kyle Langley, Jordan Anderson, I feel like it's got to be a win or bust mentality. Top 10 run currently for Cam Wright Jr. in that 10th position. Cam coming into this race 2nd in points, which would be the highest driver in the standings that is not already locked into the next round. 3 points out of the overall points lead, but more importantly, 31 points to the good above the cut line. So technically about a full race ahead of that cut line, and if he gets another good run here tomorrow, there is the possibility, there are a couple of drivers like Cam Wright Jr., Juan Garcia, Roberto Jr., Aubrey Powell, that if they finish solidly here and have a 37? I think it's a 37-point buffer to the cut line, they're locked into the next round on points going into next week at Dover. Believe we've covered all the playoff drivers. I'm just looking down through the list to make absolutely certain, and I believe we actually have. So now let's see who's the fastest on the board here with a little over 3 minutes remaining. And you're looking at your potential front row right there, nose to tail. Nathan Stapleton with a 30.441, currently the fastest lap time. And the Mazda just ahead of him, Autumn Brooks, with a 30.580. Currently has the 2nd fastest lap time. Autumn Brooks, after her pole last week at Road America, now one of 4 drivers that have won multiple poles here in Season 2. For Nathan Stapleton, he's looking for his first pole on the season. Of course, got his first career win earlier on, tail end of the regular season. Mazdas right now hold the 2 of the top 3 positionings. This right there, Ralph Mason is currently 3rd with a 30.625. Then the Ford of Cat Batson. And then the highest Toyota right now would be Cole Koibe in 5th. A lot of the Garage 55 cars running in close proximity here to each other, with Galligan, Mason side by side. Autumn Brooks just a little ways up ahead. So there's a doubleheader here this week on the Lights and the Cup side. So a number of Cup Series drivers taking part in this race, including Anthony McCrory out of Garage 55. Eric Sadler is in the All-Star car out of Bishop Family Racing. Jack Mitchell in the Adrenaline Motorsports entry. Reggie Fogelman in the Trackhouse All-Star car. And, of course, Daniel Voiles in that second entry out of World NOS Racing. Right now, as I look at it, our highest playoff contender on the speed charts would actually be Roberto Crown Jr., who we saw on pit road not too long ago. There he is. The Beyblade Supra out of Trackhouse Racing. Fourth in points coming to this one, and right now he sits 7th on the scoring pylon. We've got 3 playoff contenders currently up inside of the top 10, with Skylar Taylor in 9th and Cam Wright Jr. holding down 10th. This racetrack, concrete surface, known for wearing out the tires, so this is one of those racetracks where you would expect the fastest laps to be laid down in the early going, and more than likely not see anybody jump up any higher as the session goes on. That's actually not the case. I just noticed a couple of names jumped up in the running order. Jack Mitchell just jumped up to 12th position a couple of laps ago. So some drivers still able to find some pretty good speed here on the long run, which I think that is going to be key here in tomorrow afternoon's race. I think in both races this weekend, good car on the long run, able to preserve those Goodyear tires 15, 20, 30 laps into a run, I think is going to be crucial in terms of being able to make up track position, preserve track position as well. Zero's on the clock. Session will come to a close, and Nathan Stapleton is going to get his first pole of the season. Will lead us to green here tomorrow afternoon at 3 and look to become the 5th driver to go to victory lane multiple times here in Season 2. Autumn Brooks. These two have run together most of this session, and they will start side by side tomorrow afternoon on the front row, with Brooks on the outside of the front row in second. There is session complete. And it will be non-playoff drivers that will make up the front row. A couple of drivers that had victories this season but weren't up high enough in the top 10 in the standings to warrant a playoff spot. Ralph Mason will start in third. Kat Batson, good run there in fourth. Cole Coybe will be fifth, with Daniel Voiles in sixth. Roberto Crown Jr. going to be the highest of our playoff contenders, starting in seventh. David Dixon in eighth. Skylar Taylor and Cam Wright Jr. A couple of other playoff drivers will make up row 5, completing the top 10. Where the rest of our playoff contenders qualify, looks like it'll be Cody Majorek in 13th, Eli Bright in 16th, Kyle Langland 20th, Aubrey Powell in 24th, Jordan Anderson 25th, Juan Garcia all the way down in 28th, and then Colin Grace, who's already moving on to the next round of the playoffs. They don't have to put nearly as much emphasis on qualifying here this week or next week at Dover, as Colin will qualify in 31st position. We'll have to see how aggressive Colin Grace will be here tomorrow afternoon, knowing that they've got that golden ticket into the round of 7 after going to be starting shotgun on tomorrow afternoon's starting grid. But congratulations to Nathan Stapleton, his first pole of the season, as he'll be bringing us to the green flag tomorrow here at Nashville Super Speedway. Hope you guys enjoyed this qualifying session. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We have shown you your starting lineup for tomorrow afternoon's race. Tomorrow afternoon as well at 1, it is the Cup Series qualifying session here from Nashville. 3 o'clock, the Lights drivers go green, and then Sunday at 1, as the Cup Series drivers, capping off this race weekend here at Nashville Super Speedway. But until the next time you guys tune in, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV Offline Racing at its best.
The following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.